And the oven is coming out. They came in through here. They rolled it out and went out through here and took it out through the yard because it was in our garage is where FedEx put it for us. They got it in. It's my new oven. So anyway, it looks beautiful and I'm going to turn it on and we're going to hope it works.
Yeah, we're going to hope it works.
We're going to pray it works. This was a lot of work. All right, so we're going to turn it on high heat, 350. And I know the light works. He had already done that. It sounds a little different, so that's probably good. So the light, when it's preheated, you're supposed to turn it to low bake, or you can do the convection if you want. I'm not baking anything like that. I'm just doing dinner. I'm going to do some beans to go with our tacos.
High bake is to bring it to temperature.
Yes, so high bake.
Maintains.
Thank you, Johnny.
You're welcome.
High bake is the preheat setting. But on my last one, I had to cook everything on high bake or the light would never go off and stay off. So that will be the test that of all tests is if that works. So I'm hoping and praying it does. It's really a beautiful oven. And my heart is thankful for the men getting this thing up here and getting the other one out. This thing's a beast. So
It's nice though. It's pretty.
it is pretty, and I'm very thankful. So anyway, I'll keep you posted if the light goes off. The light went off. It went off. It works. And look. I'm gonna open it up. We're gonna do our little thing. It says it's 473 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is preheated for sure. We're gonna turn it on our low bake. Yes, and we're gonna cook dinner. I'm so happy. Hi guys, Brandy here. Welcome to my channel, Sewing Back. For those of you who are returning, you know that I believe it was at the very end of January, beginning of February, that my 1-year-old Zline 36-inch dual fuel oven, that the oven went out. And essentially the bottom element burned out because of a defect that was in the door during manufacturing. And we had no idea that it had this defect. We knew that when we did our kitchen remodel and the first few times we were using the oven that we were having difficulty getting it to heat up properly. And we wrote the company back in March of 2022, which was pretty much at the end of the kitchen remodel, that we had these questions. They told us a couple things to look at, try. We did, and I just learned to cook everything on high heat, which was so wrong. I didn't know that though, because when we had our kitchen remodeled, our contractors actually threw away our original manual, as well as this little thing here, which Zline, we figured out pretty early on that we didn't have this after I watched a video, because this little tool helps you adjust your burners on your cooktop so that you can either turn them up higher or lower, so that you just don't go from hot to hotter, so that you can actually have a low, medium, high setting on your Zline, and you have to kind of adjust that yourself with this tool. So we didn't have either one of those, so I didn't have the book to realize that the high heat function was really only supposed to be for preheating your oven. I wondered why I had so many problems when I tried to use the convection part of the oven, but I had never had a convection oven. Prior to doing our kitchen, I had a gas stove top, 4-burner, and then I had over here was a full wall that had 2 small wall ovens, and they were electric, but they were not convection. It was not an option in the size oven that we had. It was very small. My house is 50 years old, and I guess that was the standard size back then. It's not necessarily the standard size now. So I really just thought the issues I had with my Zline oven were owner issues, because I was not used to cooking in this large of an oven. And I didn't really know how to use the convection part, and I just essentially gave up on it. I just cooked on high heat, and that's what I had been doing for 11 months until I went to use my oven. We were eating lasagna that night for dinner, and it just never heated up, and we couldn't figure it out. And so my husband that night wrote Zline again. At this point, we had actually purchased this oven in October of 2021. It was not delivered till almost Christmas of 2021, and our kitchen remodel started promptly at the beginning of February of 2022. So your warranty for Zline, you have 1 year from the date of purchase. So that is something that you need to keep in mind when you are purchasing this. And to be very honest, you need to be looking at any appliance you buy, because many of them, after the last couple of years, they are 1, maybe 2 year warranties. And then you would have to purchase additional warranties if you want more time to be covered. I thought I did purchase an extended warranty. We did buy our package for Zline from Lowe's, but I was purchasing a lot during 2020. Actually, it was during 2021, trying to find stuff. I had actually been looking for stuff since 2020 when we found that we had this leak that had essentially rotted our subflooring. We had to gut our whole kitchen. We had to have the back wall of our house taken off so that the new footings could be put in on our house. And essentially, we were able to get a plumber to stop the leaks, but we couldn't get contractors for a very long time because of all the wonderfulness that was going on during 2020 through 2022. And so there were lots of issues. There were supply chain issues of trying to get things because we were gutting our kitchen. We had to have plywood. We had to have 2x4s and just all kinds of screws, windows. It was amazing how many things it was difficult to find. So as we were going through this process and I got into looking I needed new appliances. I didn't need a new refrigerator. I had a relatively new refrigerator. But I needed a new dishwasher, and I knew I wanted to go to a freestanding stove, and I wanted to go to a larger stove that had 6 burners, not 4. I didn't want the wall unit again. I knew I wanted dual fuel. I love having the gas cooktop, but I much prefer, I've had gas to cook on in the oven. And I've had electric. I prefer the electric in the oven. I find that things typically don't burn, where I had more burning and uneven cooking in a gas oven. That's just my experience. So that was what I was interested in having. And to be honest, if I would have went with a lower end package, you just couldn't find it. You couldn't find it if you were looking for particular colors. You were piecing things together, and I didn't want a hodgepodge kitchen. We were taking the time to make this investment that we had to pay. We paid. Our homeowners did not cover this because it was a slow leak. We have a a crawl space area that's under our kitchen, and we had no idea this leak was going on, and it was probably going on for a very, very long time, that it would rot out the subflooring and the joists that hold up our house. So by the time we realized there was an issue, it was way far gone, and our homeowners showed us that it had a little clause that on slow leaks it was not included. So read those homeowner policies that you have, those fine print things, because they may come to matter. Redoing a whole kitchen that you have to gut is not cheap. It is expensive. And even when you do some of the work yourself or whatnot, we couldn't lift this house up to do ourselves. And so we knew we had to contract things out, and we did. So Zline, back in March when we contacted them, they wrote us, we did kind of what they said, and then my oven, as long as I was cooking on high heat, I had an oven, and I just felt like I was trying to figure out my oven the last 11 months. And I would rotate stuff and just try to play around with it, and then it just died. And the first thing I want to say about Zline, if you go online to read, I don't care what appliance you go and read, or really anything that you go and read, you're going to find people who love it, and you're going to find people who hate it. You're going to find good things, and you're going to find bad things, and as a consumer, it's really hard to know, well, what do I believe? When I purchased my package, I've got the vent hood, I have the stove, the dual fuel 36-inch range, and I also have the drawer microwave, which I love. We've had no problems with anything other than that oven, the oven portion of it. And the reason I purchased it, one, it was in stock because it was higher end, it cost more, and so during those kind of difficult times, not everyone was purchasing the higher price stuff. They had what I wanted, the colors, it was beautiful. And matter of fact, even people who will leave a negative review about the Zline will all tell you how beautiful it is. It is well made. Structurally, all those things, we had no problem. So then the next thing when you're purchasing something, you just have to kind of make a leap of faith to some degree. So I made a leap of faith. I purchased these as a package. I want to say for the whole package, I think it was around $5,800 for the microwave, the vent hood, and the oven. I don't know if that's the price today. That's just what I was able to get then. It was a splurge. But I love to be in my home. I love to cook. And these are tools that are very valuable to have. So I felt like it was a good investment because I know me. It's one thing if you just want a pretty kitchen, but you're not necessarily in your kitchen. You just want it to be pretty, and if you have the money to spend on that, just have pretty things, but you don't necessarily use them, good for you. For me, I use these things. And matter of fact, my last double oven was when the one broke because they were hard to find in that size. We found something on Marketplace, and I think I paid like $100 for it, and we were able to get it put in, and it was nothing great, but that's what I had. I was thankful for it, and I used that like a beast. And so I knew that these were going to be tools that I used, and I wanted it to be pretty, but I wanted it to be very functional. So when I came in, I'm in the middle of a pantry challenge that's going on right now. I have a YouTube channel, obviously. A lot of my content is in the kitchen, and my oven broke, and I was just like, oh no, what am I gonna do? And I persevered. That is something I know that my mom passed to me, to have that spirit of perseverance. And so I did workarounds, just different things until we could get the whole thing situated. So my husband wrote an email the night that it stopped working. By 9 a.m. the next morning, Zline had called us, asked us to take pictures of the old oven, and we told them, explained what had happened. We told them that we had contacted them back in March. I had contacted them 2 times. We had contacted them back in March about the oven not heating up right, and the second time that we had contacted them was about this little tool when I realized I only had everything was on high, and I didn't get this tool because I found out they had thrown all of that away along with the manual when they were putting everything in. And Zline was so kind, they sent me a new one. I was able to adjust that, no problem. So this was our 3rd time dealing with customer service with Zline. And as a consumer, I think customer service speaks volumes. And the fact that they had contacted us so quickly, they were very kind. As soon as we told them that we had written them back in March of last year, because the first thing they told us is, you're out of warranty. And we go back through our records and realize, oh no, I didn't buy an extended warranty when I bought these at Lowe's. I was buying cabinets and all kinds of things, and I don't know why. It didn't happen. And I thought it did, but it didn't. And I make mistakes just like everyone else. And I'm like, oh my word. Because I know how much this cost, and it was an investment, and I was just kind of devastated. And so my husband was like, well, we contacted you back in March, and we didn't realize, he just kind of told the story, just as I have done. And they said, well, we're going to link the cases together, and we will make your case and see what we can do. But we need you to take pictures, particularly of the door. And my husband did all that and sent it, and they said it appears to us that this was a manufacturing defect in the door that we have experienced in that model. And we are going to send your case and see what we can do for you. Because even though we were out of warranty, they were going the extra mile. They realized that, this was nothing that we had done. So Zline contacted us, I want to say it was within 48 hours, and explained that they were going to replace our oven. It was a defect in the door. And once they said that, so many things made sense to me, because one of the things that I didn't realize was when I had the oven going and I was cooking on the top, the knobs would get so hot, and that was because the door was not properly closing. Also, my kitchen would be hot as blue blazes. And I just thought it was because, well, I'm just in that season of life, and I can be hot as blue blazes sometimes. And so I just didn't really put it together. Plus I knew we had put in all new insulation, and I just thought, man, this room's really insulated. I didn't know, ignorance. And so once they said that, that made sense. And so essentially what happened was, because the door was not manufactured properly, or it was messed up in manufacturing, whatever, that because this oven never kept temperature correctly, which is why I had such uneven baking and everything, it burned out the element on the bottom. So they said, we will send you a new one. They paid for shipping, and they explained how we had to get our old oven on the materials that this one was going to come on, and that they were going to have that. They were also going to pay for that shipping to go back to them, to the warehouse, at their expense. They did not have to do that. We are so grateful that they did, and I think that speaks to their company. I think not just dealing with people, the phone calls, the emails, everything was so overly nice and kind. We did ask if they would include taking the old oven out and putting the new one in, and they said that they couldn't do that. They felt like giving us the brand new oven and all that was enough. And to be totally honest, yeah, it was. And we probably, I guess it doesn't hurt to ask. I think we were a little overwhelmed about how are we going to get this out and get the new one in and all the moving parts. But you know, everything went so smooth. It really wasn't a big deal. So I just am making this video because I want you guys to know what a stand-up company I think Zline is. The new oven works beautifully. Oh, I'm so excited, and it's almost like a new kitchen all over again, because now I have the oven working with all these functions that I was so excited to get, and I have a book. I now understand how it's supposed to work versus how I was making it work, and I'm just very grateful and thankful. I'm not being compensated for this by Zline. They're not an affiliate or anything like that. I just wanted to tell you, I'm just one person, and how they treated us and what they did for us. And I think, like I said, I think that speaks volumes. They have been very kind. The only other thing I want to say in this video is I want to give props to FedEx. That's who they ship through. And that was one of the points we were very nervous about, because we're like, where are we going to put this? In the meantime, we had stairs, we had to get it up. They were not going to deliver it, you know, upstairs. And so our hope and prayer was that they would move it just into our garage, like they would put it down. This is a heavy oven. It's over 300 pounds on its own, but when it has all of its packaging, it's even more so. So our hope was that they could use a lift or whatever they had on their truck, that they could get it in our garage until we could get it, the old one taken out, the new one brought up and put in and installed. And the other part that Zline did really well is they don't expect you to have your old oven ready to go. Like, they're like, you get it situated. Once you get it situated, you put it back in this packaging. Here's your label. You contact FedEx. FedEx is going to come pick it up within a window of time. And that's it. So it wasn't like we had to have one ready to go when the other one was coming in. They just made it super easy. And FedEx did a great job. They were really nice guys. My husband said they were so helpful to just get it sat in our garage so we could have it there until this was able to be done. And I just want to say that I'm really thankful. And I wanted to give an honest opinion. I can tell you that we've had no problems at all with our vent hood. We love our vent hood. And I don't know how I lived all these years without one like this. I always had the kind that was just, it really went nowhere. And this one actually comes up in the attic. It goes out, and I love it, especially as much canning as I do. And the microwave drawer, I love. I have so much more counter space because I don't have to have a microwave on it. I didn't want a microwave over my stove. I don't like that blocked in feeling. And having that microwave drawer is amazing. It is a fantastic microwave, and I'm so thankful that we have it. So I just wanted to give a fair assessment. I want to thank you, Zline, and also FedEx for all your hard work and your great customer service. You get great customer service when you have people who believe in your product or what you are offering. And to have both of these two businesses have such great customer service that we have worked with. And some of this was face-to-face, like the FedEx people who came out, but also FedEx working with them through email and phone calls to schedule everything, and everything was on time, which was fantastic. And as well as Zline. That just speaks a lot to the people that they hire, and that these people believe in their company. So anyway, I hope that you may find this valuable. If you have any questions about what I have in particular, you can ask in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. If you found value in this, I'd love a thumbs up. if you want to see me cook some stuff or garden, we'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel. Or if you know someone who maybe they're fixing to do a remodel, they're thinking about an appliance. And one of the things I did want to say about Zline is I live in a 1972 home. Okay, it's a split level house. It's nothing real fancy or anything, but that doesn't mean that I didn't want something nice in my home. And one of the things I thought was so marketing smart of Zline is, if you look on the book, what does it say? It's an attainable luxury. Their prices, if you were to look at one of the other brands at any of the big box stores or wherever you shop your appliances, they would be double what Zline carry stuff for. So don't discount them. They have other, they have bigger ones than what I have. They have smaller ones than what I have as well. So, and I'm pretty sure Costco has started carrying, I don't know which line of Zline. I think they do like packages. So if you're a Costco person, that might be something you want to look at, because Zline doesn't have to give. They didn't have to do this, and they did. And so we're very thankful. But anyway, with that, I hope you have a great one. And if you're thinking about taking on a remodeling project, I pray for you. It's exciting. It's overwhelming. It is extremely stressful, and it's expensive. It's all the things. But in the end, it sure is exciting when it gets done and you have something of beauty, and particularly when it's something that you love to do. I love that I get to make my videos in my kitchen, and that it's just me, and I'm just really happy to have all the blessings that are in these walls. So, but anyway, with that, I thank you, and I hope you have a great one, and I'll see you next time. Bye.